Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about World Warships dev blogs, which just came out yesterday, if this gets released on the 10th, which is about update 11.6. So there's two dev blogs, which is one about new ships and one about early access to British Battlecruisers. So before we get into it, I'm going to be reading off the World Warships dev blog. That links to this will be in the description down below if you want to read along. And if war games related content floats your boat, then please subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Anyway, let's get into it. So we'll start off with the one that came out first, which was early access to British battleships, battlecruisers, separation of economic bonuses from visual customizations, brawls and other new features in update 11.6. Here's a look at the major new features in the upcoming update. British Battlecruisers. In update 11.6, early access to new British Battlecruisers of tiers 3 to 10 will begin, as well as a new timed event, Titans of Industry. Players will take part in a competition between 3 British dockyards, Chatham, Elswick and Clydebank. Choose which shipyard you decide to lend your support to, but don't forget, each one will provide you with a unique reward. Titans of Industry is similar to New Year's Eve, Aircraft Bureau's Rivalry, Battle of the Beast and Clash of Courage events. Participate in the event and earn British tokens that can be exchanged for ships in early access, permanent camouflages and other goods. The Port of London has been updated to celebrate the event. So there'll be some pictures of that on the screen now. It's nice looking. That's actually been detailed quite nicely, that, hasn't it? Now next, separation of economic bonuses from visual customizations. In our previous post, we already told you about the upcoming big change separating the economic bonuses from visual customization. Today, we are ready to tell you that it is planned for update 11.6. So that's quite quick actually, considering they only talked about it when the roadmap came out, which I'll put a little card in the top right corner of the screen if you want to go look at that video. What's it called? While working on the update, we tried to achieve the following goals. Provide you with the ability to separate select economic bonuses and exterior. Simplify the management of economic bonuses. Grant you a comfortable transition from the old system to the new one. Maintain the current state of the game's economy, costs and earnings wise. The main principle that guided us was that you as players do not lose in total profitability, and in some situations you actually gain even more than before. We have also improved the interface, bonus management, inventory display and much more. Below is a brief list of key changes. If you are interested in more details about exterior separation, you'll find them in our previous posts. I'm not going to talk about them today because they're in a different update, but I will put links to that in the description if you would like to see them. So, list of changes. So we start off with economic bonuses from camouflages and signals become separate entities. Choosing a camouflage only affects visuals. Bonus to XP does not affect free XP and Commander XP. At the same time, however, all bonuses are increased accordingly. Basic free XP earnings are doubled. That's good. Free XP is quite helpful, really, when you're trying to get ships. I mean, I reckon they've done that because if you think about, at the moment, we've got 2 free XP ships in the game, which both cost 1 million free XP. It's the Ajir and the Azuma, and let's be honest, if they've double basic free XP earnings, then I don't think they're going to be adding any more of them ships into the game. But to be fair, we have got the coal, we have got the ships in the armory, which you can get for coal and steel, so I'm not too bothered. Economic bonuses from permanent camouflages are purchased separately and are permanently active for a ship if present. Expendable bonuses can also now be added on top of permanent ones. In order to simplify the system, only 1 economic bonus per resource, so credits, free XP, Commander XP and normal XP, can be used at a time, 4 different bonuses in total. The values of the bonuses are designed in such a way that they can duplicate even the most profitable combinations from the current system. Instead of lowering the service cost, permanent camouflages give a credit bonus that makes it so that the average income is either unchanged or increased. Service cost for researchable tier 9 ships is reduced from 120 to 115,000 credits. So they've reduced the service cost. I think they are getting rid of the service, the post-battle. What's it called? I'm trying to think now. the post-battle. I'm trying to get rid of the, you know, in the camos where you can get like post-battle reduction in the credits cost. So I think that's why they're reducing the cost. So for researchable tier 10 ships, it decreases from 180,000 to 150,000. To account for the changes to bonuses that lower service costs, in co-op battles the current service cost will additionally be reduced by 13.3%, and credits earned will be increased by 12.5%. So if you want to earn credits, co-op battles is the way to go. All camouflages affect only a ship's appearance. In order to make camouflages an exclusively visual customization, combat bonuses are also separated from them. The 3% detectability range by sea bonus, previously present on all camouflages, is now built into the default parameters of all ships. The 4% increase of dispersions of shells fired by enemies attacking your ship will be entirely removed. Oh, right, so that's interesting. Most of the expendable camouflages you have or will receive will also be purchasable for credits. The number of expendable items in your inventory is displayed, including those that are already mounted on the ships. Along with this change and the addition of new economical bonuses, it entails a change to all rewards in-game, in combat missions, campaigns, operations and collections. Economic and special signals are replaced by bonuses. Oh, so there's no signals anymore. Camouflages will also be supplemented with bonuses. The contents of all containers containing signals or camouflages will also change. Also, 2 new account access levels will be added to support the upcoming changes. Level 5 to unlock combat bonuses for the ship. Level 7 unlocking economic bonuses for the ship. Thus, the total number of access levels will increase to 17. At the same time, the total number of battles to unlock the access levels remains unchanged. Players who have made progress in unlocking access levels of the account will not lose anything, as well as get all the missed rewards. So, AI update. In 11.6, we've upgraded our bot ship's AI in training and in cooperative battles. AI has now been improved for the following actions in training battles: moving, firing, and using consumables. Now, aircraft carriers under AI control in cooperative battles will move sideways to the nearest capture point if there are few surviving allies left in the battle. Bots will now be less likely to ravage their pit islands in cooperative battles. So, changes in port. Several improvements have been made to the barge in the port. The barge now has the ability to view all available containers grouped by type and open all containers of the selected type at once. For a number of containers, a link has been added to a page with information about their content and drop rates of its items. The maximum number of containers a player can keep will be increased. Now, players can have up to 9,999 containers on their account, but no more than 100 of each type. Naval Base. Added new building, Secret Naval Base, which will provide economic bonuses to super ships. So level 1 is plus 10% of the experience gained when playing super ships. The cost of the purchase is 80,000 oil. Level 2 is minus 15% of the super ship's acquisition cost, 160,000 oil. And level 3 is plus 50% of free experience of the super ships, purchased at a cost of 320,000 oil. Brawls. In update 11.6 there will be two brawls in a 2v2 format. The first in which tier 10 ships will take part will start on 18th of July. So that's a month and 8 days away. And the second brawl will start on August the 1st. This time players will have to bring their tier 7 ships into battle. Restrictions by class. No more than 1 aircraft carrier per team. No more than 1 battleship per team. So, adding and changing content. Added to the game. Permanent camouflage ahead of the future for Incomparable. Permanent industrial camouflage for Hawk, Duncan and St. Vincent. British commanders Charlie Chatham, Eddie Ellswick and Kyle Clydebank. Flags for British battleships, Anchors, Sexton and Rose of the Winds. Titans of Industry achievement. Nuke daily container, which is more camouflages. 72 new camouflages added to the Distant Voyagers container. Standard British commanders' portraits have been updated and several new ones added. In update 11.6, the American destroyers will continue to be updated. This time, Sims, Simsby, Samson, Wicks, Clemson, Nicholas, and Farragut will get new models. So I'll put them on the screen. So, well, I've got to be honest. The what's it called? The destroyers, the American destroyers, look quite nice.
Torpedoes to starboard.
But anyway, other than that, I like the camouflage for Hawk, for the British, for industrial camouflage. Sorry, for Hawk, Duncan, and St. Vincent. Not sure the incomparable one. Like, I think that looks a bit unrealistic, but to be fair, most of them are. Right, so that was the first dev blog for update 11.6. This is quite interesting, actually. I like what they're doing with the economic bonuses. So, and I can't wait for British battleships, actually, so Battlecruisers. Anyway, next, we have new ships, which are in the closed testing for 11.6. So, German battleship Anhalt, Spanish destroyer Alvaro de Bazar, and European super destroyer Delaney, and Japanese submarine I56 have been added to the game for testing. Just before we carry on, I apologise if I've butchered these names, but I'm not very good with some of this stuff. Anyway, so we started with German battleship Anhalt, tier 8. So, a battleship with an original layout armed with 15 350mm main caliber guns in 5 triple gun turrets. These relatively small caliber guns are compensated by their number, high salvo weight, and high armor penetration of high explosive shells. The ship is well protected against both HE and SAP shells. However, her citadel is quite vulnerable to enemy shells compared to the typical armor scheme of German battleships. So I'm assuming she's, judging by the turrets, she looks like a battlecruiser. She looks like she's designed like a battlecruiser. But we'll have to wait and see. In close combat, Anhalt can surprise the enemy with her powerful 700mm torpedoes mounted in 4 single tube torpedoes. At the same time, unlike most German battleships, she has no hydroacoustic search, so like the Brandenburg, for example. Next we have Spanish destroyer Alvaro de Bazar, which is at tier 10. So, I reckon that'll probably become a steel ship, or perhaps even a coal ship. I'm reckoning that's steel though. A high-speed destroyer leader with powerful artillery armament. The destroyer is similar to the Italian Capitani Romani type ships. The main feature of the Alvaro de Bazar is the 8 135mm main caliber guns with HE and high-powered AP shells, as well as the ability to use the alternative firing mode, burst fire, previously available only to some super ships. That sounds overpowered already, because burst fire, that's supposed to be super ships only. Then they refused to put it on the German super ship, the German cruiser super ship, which is after the Hindenburg, and now they're putting it on tier 10 ships. That's a bit worrying, really, if you think about it. Thanks to a fast 40 knot speed, she can rapidly attack enemy ships and deal heavy damage in a very short amount of time. Torpedo armament is represented by 2 4-tubed torpedo launchers. The torpedoes have good range, but not the highest speed or damage. Consumables are represented by the classic destroyer set of engine boost and smoke generator. So next we have European super destroyer Delaney. So this looks like quite a nice looking ship actually. So a versatile destroyer combining powerful artillery and torpedo armament with the most modern AA defences equipment for the 1950s. Delaney is a classic representative of the European destroyer line. Powerful torpedo armament, strong AA defense, no smoke, and a decent caliber for her main guns, which allows the ship to repel the enemy in an artillery duel. The main difference between this ship and its predecessor Holland is the additional turret, which gives it one of the best DPMs of her type. In addition, the Delaney can use 2 types of torpedoes in combat. The familiar European torpedoes with high speed and low damage, slow and not the most long-range torpedoes with increased damage. So the Super Destroyer's consumables are represented by engine boost, repair party and defensive AA fire. Interesting. So Super Destroyer Delaney. I think most people probably use the latter torpedoes, the slow and not long range but very high damage. Anyway, next we have an interesting one, which is a Japanese submarine I56, which is at tier 8. So I-56 belonged to the third and final series of the second modification Otsu class submarines, Type B Mod 2 I-54 class, which included 3 ships and operated in the Imperial Japanese Navy from 1944 to 1945. Otsu was one of the most numerous submarine classes in the Japanese Navy during the Pacific War period. Submarines of this type were fully suited to the conditions of the Pacific theatre of war, well armed, fast moving, highly autonomous with a short dive capacity, and suitable for a wide variety of combat missions. However, the price for the high performance characteristics was a large displacement and the cost of the submarine. The main armament of the submarine is composed of 6 torpedo tubes with long-range torpedoes in the bow and the hull, as well as a 140mm main caliber gun with sap shells under direct player control. So you have a little gun at the top. That's not a bad idea, to be fair, but I wonder, that's not really going to be much use, I don't think. No one's going to really use that. The sub has excellent surface manoeuvrability, but is significantly lower underwater and has limited dive capacity. This makes long dives impossible for the I-56. So, this submarine's combat tactics are similar to those of the Japanese torpedo destroyers, playing on the surface and regularly attacking enemy ships with torpedoes without homing from long range. So, the I-56, that looks like an interesting ship. I'm going to give a bit of a run over of the statistics, but I'm not going to go through everything because it'll take too long. So we'll start off with the German battleship Anhalt. So it has 69,500 hit points. Its extremities have a plating of 32mm. Main battery is 5 350mm with a firing range of 21.1 kilometers. Its guns have a reload time of 30 seconds, dispersion of 271 meters, and a sigma of 1.7. Torpedo tubes, it has 4 singular 700mm, which do maximum damage of 20,633, range of 6 kilometers, speed of 54 knots, reload time of 45 seconds, and they have a detectability of 1.7 kilometers. Secondaries, it has 6 twin 105mm guns, which have a range of 7.6 kilometers. It also has 8 singular 150mm guns with a range of 7.6 kilometers. Max speed of the ship is 25 knots. Turning circle radius is 900 meters. Rudder shift time 16 seconds. Surface detectability is 15.5 seconds. Air detectability is 11.5 kilometers. And detectability after fire main guns in smoke is 13.3 kilometers. Available consumables. So slot 1 damage control party, slot 2 repair party, and in slot 3 you can either choose fighter or spotting aircraft. So next we have Spanish destroyer Alvaro de Bazar in tier 10. Hit points, it has 26,600. Extremities of plating is 19mm. It has 4 twin 135mm guns with a firing range of 11.6 kilometers. Reload time is 10 seconds for the guns. Maximum dispersion is 102 meters, and sigma is 2.0. Reload time for the burst fire is 40 seconds. Burst interval is 2 seconds, and shots in a series is 3. Torpedo tubes, it has 2 quadruple 533mm torpedoes, which have a maximum damage of 13,900, a range of 13.5 kilometers, a speed of 56 knots, reload time of 95 seconds, and torpedo detectability is 1.1 kilometers. So maximum speed of the ship is 40 knots. Turning circle radius 730 meters. Rudder shift time is 5.6 seconds. Surface detectability is 7.9 kilometers. Air detectability is 4.3 kilometers, and detectability after firing main guns in smoke is 3.1 kilometers. Available consumables is slot 1 damage control party, slot 2 smoke generator, and slot 3 engine boost. So for the super destroyer Delaney, hit points is 20,300. Extremities plating is 90mm. Main battery is 3 twin 120mm. Firing range is 12.3 kilometers. Reload time is 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2-second reload time for your guns. That's insane.
The ship is on fire.
Well, not as quite as insane as some ships, but that's still very insane. Maximum dispersion 108 meters, and sigma is 2.0. Torpedo tubes, it has 2 quadruple 533mm. So, standard torpedoes, it has maximum damage of 10,700, range of 15 kilometers, and speed at 86 knots. Reload time in 90 seconds, and detectability of the torpedoes is 1.8. The alternative torpedoes, it has a maximum damage of 14,400, a range of 10 kilometers, a speed of 70 knots, reload time at 90 seconds, and torpedo detectability is 1.3 knots. Kilometers. Maximum speed is 36 knots, turn and circle radius is 720 meters, rudder shift time is 4.4 seconds, surface detectability is 7.7 kilometers, air detectability is 3.9 kilometers, and detectability after firing main guns and smoke 2.8 kilometers. Available consumables. Slot 1 is damage control party, slot 2 is engine boost, slot 3 is repair party, and slot 4 is defensive AA fire. So last, we have Japanese Submarine I56. So hit points has 24,200. It has armor plating of 90mm. I'm assuming that's all round. Dive capacity is 120 units. Dive capacity depletion is 1 unit a second, and recharge rate is 2 units a second. Main battery is one singular 140mm cannon with a firing range of 8.5 kilometers. It has a reload time of 2.3 seconds, 180 degree turn, maximum dispersion of 45 meters, and sigma is 2.0. Sonar has a reload time of 6.5 seconds. It has a duration of 25 seconds on a target. Double highlighted sector is 55 seconds. Ping velocity is 600, and maximum range is 6 kilometers. So quite close range. Torpedo tubes has 6 singular 533mm torpedoes. So it has acoustic homing torpedoes which do maximum damage of 10,800, a range of 6 kilometers, speed of 78 knots, reload time of 35 seconds, and torpedo detectability of 2.1 kilometers. So its normal torpedoes have a maximum range of 14,300, a range of 12.5 kilometers, speed of 73 knots, reload time of 35 seconds, and torpedo detectability of 1.9 kilometers. Maximum speed is 27 knots, turn circle radius is 750 meters, rudder shift time is 9 seconds. Surface detectability is 7.3 kilometers, air detectability is 2.6 kilometers, detectability after firing main guns and smoke is 3 kilometers, and available consumables is slot 1 is damage control party, and slot 2 is hydrophone. So just as a little disclaimer, all stats are listed without. Please note that all the information in the dev blog is preliminary, and as adjustments and features may change multiple times during testing. The final information will be published on our game website. Right, so that is that for update 11.6. I think I'm looking forward to the Spanish destroyer and the German battleship. The other two not so much, but it'd be interesting to see the Japanese submarines in the game. I'm also interested in the British Battlecruisers coming out, and I do like what they're doing with the economic bonuses. So fingers crossed that'll work, and it'll be a love feature because it looks quite good. Unless there's something wrong with it, of course, but that's, you know. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could, if war games related content is your thing and floats your boat, please subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. Anyway, that's it for me, and I'll see you in the next one.